Hi everyone, as I'm sure you can tell by the name of the video, I'm going to be talking about how I think the unranked GMs are stupid and they don't really work. I've watched many unranked GMs for Curie, quite a few for Mercy from different people. I've watched some for funny DPS heroes, or characters that I think would be funny at least. Even if I don't play them, just to see, what it's like. My main complaint is that it's putting a high-ranked person into the same lobbies in the same game as someone who's not a high rank. So, most of the time when you see someone do an unranked GM, they make a new account, and they play whatever hero to get their 50 wins so they can get into ranked. And because we don't know what characters they're playing to get into ranked, they could be playing their main. And if they're playing their main and quick play to get to, that means that the game is going to automatically know that they are higher, that they better at the game than most others, which is why most of the time you see them place diamond. I've even seen one where I can't remember what character they were doing it on, but they ranked Masters 4, I'm pretty sure, which is already 90% of the way to the goal of GM, which means that they get to deal with decent-ish teammates. Are people on all ranks stupid? Oh, absolutely. You're gonna find dumbasses in every rank you're in. But the thing is, so many of these unranked GMs I see, it's like, oh, here's tips, you just need to, do damage more. Awkward, constantly. He's the one that gets on my nerves the most because he goes in and he's like, just do damage. Just damage more. Do more damage. Damage, damage, damage. Not every character is 100% about damage. I'm sorry if you can hear anything in the background. I have cats and they're being annoying. Not every character is about damage. Like Mercy, sure, she has damage boost, but most of the people I see doing the unranked GM on her either do it wrong where they're just joking around where they just take out their pistol 90% of the time, or they're healing most of it. And they're able to get away with that because they're in lobbies from the beginning of the challenge where people know what they're doing for the most part. And it's dumb. How are you going to tell someone who has had an account for a while, like me? I've been playing for a while. I think since 2019. So, it's not as long as some people, but still. I've been playing for long enough on the same account, never had a different account, that the game isn't gonna let me rank up as easily as some if I was on a new account. I don't want to make a new account. I like my skins. I like all the customizations I have going on with my profile. I like seeing the big numbers on my progression levels and all that. I don't want to start a new account just to be like, what rank would I be in? Because that would just be a waste of time, in my opinion. But that's what these unranked GMs do. It's just a top 500 player doing whatever they do to get their 50 wins, ranking automatically from placements in really high lobbies. And I've seen people do bronze to GM, where they buy an account that is bronze. Well, that bronze account that they bought was made, got the 50 wins, and purposefully ranked it down so that there's not much of a history on it, which means the game is going to be easier to let you get your wins up and let you rank up faster. That's just how the game works. The longer you play the game, the more certain the game is on where you are supposed to be placed. I had someone on social media tell me, if I got on your account, they were Masters, and played for a week, I'd be able to get you to Masters. And I'm like, no. I know for a fact you wouldn't. Because you're going to get into the exact same lobbies I get into. And the thing is, I don't want you to get me to Masters playing whatever the hell character you want. I don't even want you to get me to Masters. If you went onto my account, played the character I play the most, which is Mercy, tried to get to Masters or GM after 3 years worth of this account, 3 years, mind you, where I had only started gaming again a year before I started Overwatch. I got my first PlayStation 4 a year before I started Overwatch. So I was very new to gaming when I first started this game, which means I was really, really bad. And guess what? Me being that bad at the game when I first started is going to drag me down and make it to where I have a harder time getting higher rank because it thinks I'm terrible still. I have improved an insane amount. I know I have. I have gotten better at positioning. My aim is better. Of course, I'm playing mouse and keyboard, and I'm not that good at it yet. I'm used to the whole aiming with, at least not on tracking characters. I can do kind of okay on Kiri sometimes, where it's more that I flick sometimes, even though I suck at that too. But still. I have gotten better at aiming. My positioning in this game is better. My knowledge of the game in general is better. I have had people in my games think that I'm smurfing on Mercy. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, because trust me, I know I'm not smurfing, obviously. I have been stuck in silver for ages. But it's ridiculous the way these people think that they're able to tell us, hey, you can do it, you just have to be better. Yeah, no shit. That's the only way to get higher rank in any game, is to just get good. Telling me to get good isn't gonna help. Showing me a top 500 person playing on an account that is already set to Diamond or Masters isn't going to help me rank up at all. I don't see how it's supposed to. Yeah, on Kiri, sure, do more damage. Sometimes I have to. Sometimes my DPS can't do it. Just can't do it. They can't do shit. And I have to step in. Sometimes I have to sit there and heal bot as much as I possibly can, because my tank doesn't know how to back the fuck up and not take damage. Or my other support just isn't healing and wants to do PBS or just sit there. Another problem with trying to rank up is having the game free to play and have it to where you only need 50 wins to get into competitive is a whole ass problem. Because I have had a tank who wanted to play Doomfist and refused to switch, who had 11 hours in the game. He got his 50 wins within 11 hours in the game, which isn't that surprising. You can win in less than, I think, as little as 3 minutes, depending on the mode or whatever. But 11 hours in my silver games. The whole thing is the match was labeled as gold 4 at the time, and he was hot garbage. And he even admitted, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, why the fuck are you in my game? You should not be in my game. It's ridiculous. And then, not to mention the whole, some people refuse to switch. People at lower ranks have this ego for some awful reason where they think they are just God's gift to the earth and that I don't belong in this rank. So you do what I say and you follow what I do and we will win, and that never works. That never works. Never. Not once has it ever worked. I've had people go 2-17 and be like, well, if you just listen to me. Listen to you what? Go in 2v5 into the enemy team? Yeah, no, not happening. Sorry. Sorry, that sucks to suck. But That's another problem. You don't get either of those as much once you reach Diamond and Masters, where most of these people are, or these streamers are getting to their placements at. It just doesn't work. They don't get the experience that most of us are getting. I had 2 games in a row in my previous video with the same tank who threw. He threw the first game because somebody shot his shield and he didn't like that. Poor baby. And then because I was in his second game on his team, because I forgot to, or I didn't think at least that I would get put on his team again. Usually that doesn't happen. It's usually the other support or maybe a DPS, never really the tank. Because I was on his team, he started throwing again, playing a character he didn't know how to play in competitive. He got carried by the rest of the team. He went, God, I don't remember, but he didn't do well. He only switched the second round when he realized that it was winnable onto characters he knew how to play. Only because he realized it was winnable if he actually tried. He was whole ass just not even trying the first half. He would go in there to make it look like he's trying because he doesn't know how to play the character. He'd, do whatever because he doesn't know what he's doing on that character, and all because someone threw or someone did something he didn't like in the last game, and then I was in his second game after calling him for throwing the previous one. It was ridiculous. I had a DPS on my team go 0 and 25 on a King's Row. Somehow that match was fairly long. Of course, we didn't win. No way in hell were we going to win. Not with that. But that's the type of stuff that happens so often in lower ranks, whether they're on your team or on the other team. Matchmaking is busted. New players that don't know how to play the game, new players that don't have access to all the characters. I had a tank who didn't have access to Ramatra, even though that's the tank that was gonna do the best in the situation we were in. And when I asked, why are you in competitive when you don't even have all the characters in a small roster of characters like tank a lot? He goes, oh, I just don't want to learn Overwatch 2. I don't want to have to learn Overwatch 2. It's too much new stuff. So he was trying to play Overwatch 2 like it was Overwatch 1. Which obviously doesn't work. It's never going to work because they're fundamentally different. You're missing an entire character. But that's what he wanted to do. Unsurprisingly, we lost that. I feel like if you're going to do an unranked GM that's actually useful, take someone, ask your community, because there's a lot of people who watch Overwatch stuff that don't play the game anymore. Ask them, hey, does anyone have an old account, that's bronze, silver, gold, maximum, maybe low plat, who is willing to let me have their account or use their account so that I can do an unranked GM, preferably with a year or 2 on the account of consistent playing, so that the game has a distinct idea of where that account is supposed to be, and then go in there. Or they need to give themselves some sort of handicap. Low ranked players don't have the type of aim that top 500s are gonna have. They just don't. It's just not a thing they have. They're not gonna have the stupendous game knowledge that top 500s are gonna have. They're not going to know where everything on the map is. They're not going to know how every single ability works. I do for the most part because I like knowing what I'm doing. I like knowing what's going on around me. Playing Mercy has helped me a lot in games like that, where I'm able to, as I help my team, take in the information, see things from a third-party point of view type situation. Because I'm able to see everything going on. So yeah, I have maybe more knowledge than some others, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be top 500 level because I have some knowledge. My aim isn't that great. I either play on controller or mouse and keyboard, which I'm not that good at, on PC. Nothing I do is going to be the same as it would be top 500. If someone got on my account, top 500 got on my account, and tried to play the characters I play, so specifically Mercy and a little bit of Kiriko, I bet it would take them over a month just to get to Diamond. Because of how this game works, and because of the matchmaking and the competitive system. Of course, it's all being updated. Season 9, I am so excited for that. Can't wait for that to come because it's all getting overhauled. Hoping things get better. But unranked to GMs, they're not helping anyone. Yeah, you can give a little bit of tips, and those tips can help people get better. But going into lobbies where everyone's a lower rank than you and stomping them into the ground isn't going to help anyone at all. It never will. And it just doesn't make sense on why it's such a popular format. In my opinion, anyone who does unranked to GMs is kind of an asshole. They're just going in and stomping in lower lobbies. And they get some sort of ego about it. See, if I can do it, you can do it. No, you're top 500. I, at a maximum, am probably mid to high plat. Like, I don't have a big ego. I know I'm better than where I'm at. But the game just hates me. It thinks I'm worse than what I am because of how I started this out and where I've been. It's just, I don't know if you'll agree. I know a lot of people agree with me, but I know a lot of people have the whole skill diff type thing. But honestly, it's a skill diff anyway if you think unranked to GMs are any good for anyone. But let me know what you think, I guess. Just don't be an asshole. No one wants to be an asshole.
Goodbye.